Hey everybody, and welcome to Dawn Osborne Fearless Mindset Coaching Podcast. I have 3 kinds of destructive beliefs that I want to share with you today, and I want to bring you into self-awareness. So my podcast today is all about how to become mentally strong. So stay tuned, and I look forward to sharing these secrets with you. So do you have any friends that you just watch on Facebook and they just got a ridiculously beautiful and successful look in life? It's like they've been blessed with the beauty genes. You know, everything's beautiful. They got beautiful pictures. Their Instagram looks amazing, and they haven't used any trick photography or amazing filters. They're just taking natural shots, and everything about their life is just oozes beauty and glory and success. And you just watch their life on, social media. And basically, if I was to be really, really real, sometimes, I kind of get Facebook envy or Instagram envy because, these people are oozing success. And sometimes what we do is we check out these lives on Facebook and social media and Instagram. And what we do is we stack up our life and compare it to their life. And what we produce a deadly emotion, which I call envy. And, sometimes that way of thinking doesn't cost them, it costs us. And so that's what I want to talk to you about today. I want to talk to you about bad mental habits or patterns that are costing us. Recent studies have shown that Facebook envy or social media envy actually can lead to depression. If you're scrolling through Facebook and you're scrolling through Instagram and you're looking at everybody's life, and you start to become envious of what's going on in this video, this highlight clip of someone's life, and it starts to make you envious, it's basically going to lead to depression. I know I'm just going to be super real and super raw, and I'm going to say, look, I've looked at other people's lives on Instagram and social media, and I've asked myself, gosh, how did they do that? Or how did they get that? Oh, look, another holiday. Oh no, they're skiing now. Oh no, they're doing this now. And often that could start you feeling like you've got lack, or we're not good enough. It's like, why don't we have a life like that? Why don't we have relationships like that? But what I need to share with you today, and we're talking about how to become mentally strong, is that, if you're thinking like this, and that it results in envy, it's going to eat away at your mental strength. And it really doesn't cause anybody else damage. It actually just causes you damage. And you start to chip away at any mental strengths that you have. It starts to eat away at that, and you move out of, having positive mental attitudes and attributes into having deadly emotions and negative mental attitudes, which again cause you problem and not anybody else. So I want to share with you today, and the key of today's podcast is to bring you into 3 kinds of destructive beliefs. Number 1, an unhealthy belief about yourself or your own self-image. Number 2, an unhealthy belief about others. And number 3, an unhealthy belief about the world that you live in. And so number 1 is unhealthy belief about yourself or self-image. Now, if you have a mind that is full of destructive beliefs, it always magnifies your misfortune, or all the things that will go wrong. And what it will do is it will keep your focus on the problem and away from looking for the solution. And so that old saying which says, whatever you focus on expands. So if you focus on the problem, guess what? It's going to expand. If you focus on the solution, guess what? It's going to expand. And what I need to tell you, though, is that if you're mentally strong, you will always focus on the solution and the positive things that have happened as a result of that event. If you are not mentally strong, you will always focus on the problem and all the lack and loss you gained from that problem. Now, let's have a look at number 2, unhealthy beliefs about others. I've said this before and I'll say it again, one of our biggest fears is that we are not good enough. And therefore, what we will do when we have a low self-esteem and we have a fear of not being good enough, other people's opinions of who we are will affect us, and we will give our power away, we will give our control away, and we allow other people's opinions to control us, and it controls our thoughts, and it drains us. It drains our mental strength and our mental power. Also too, you give your control away when you start saying things like, that person makes me mad, that person makes me frustrated, that person drives me crazy. Because in all of those statements, what you're actually doing is you're actually giving your mental power away, and your emotional state, your happiness or your sadness, is determined by someone else's opinions, actions, and behavior. So in actual fact, you're not in control. You've actually given your control to other people. And one of the biggest things that actually transformed my mind was becoming self-aware about how much power I was giving away to other people, because I believed them more than I believed me. Their mental strength was stronger than mine, and therefore I thought that they knew more than I did about who I was and my self-image and my identity. And so it wasn't until I came into a self-awareness that the only person that is in control of me, my emotions, my mental strength, my thinking, my beliefs, my values, my mind, my body, and my spiritual life was me. I was only in control of me. And all of a sudden, I kind of had this mindset shift or mindset swap, that actually someone else's opinion of me only has power if I believe it. And so therefore, what do I believe? So what am I saying in this? I'm saying, don't give your power. Mentally strong people do not give their power away, their mental power, to anyone else. They develop their own mind, they develop their own beliefs, they develop their own thinking, their own values, and their own self-awareness. All right, number 3 is unhealthy beliefs about the world we live in. Sometimes, and I'm watching this next generation of people coming through that has this expectation that, the world around them owes them. And therefore they have an unrealistic expectation of what they are entitled to, which leads us to giving away our mental power and our mental strength. Because if our life is dependent on someone else or something else, and we don't get it, we're going to drop into mentally destructive beliefs. Now, my story was that in 2003, I woke up one morning and I had a devastating experience where pretty much from the neck down to my legs, I was unable to move my body. Now, I wasn't paralyzed, but from the neck down, I had seized up. Basically, that's the only word I can think of. I had seized up and none of my joints would move. And as a result, I ended up in hospital, and I was like a guinea pig. Everybody was trying to, put me through all of these tests to try and give me a diagnosis of what on earth was going on in my body. And basically, one of the end results was from one of the doctors was, you have an incurable disease, and we actually don't know what it is, but you've got it, and basically you're going to have to change your life. Now, at the time, I had 4 little kids under 4. I ran an international business. I was exporting products over to the States. I had heavily invested all of our researches into this deal. I'd laid everything on the line, and to receive a diagnosis that says you have an incurable disease and you have to change your life, really was kind of what I would call a pivotal moment in my life. My marriage was also, heavily on the rocks, and all I could think about at the time is when all of this I was getting bombarded with all of these dramas that were going on around me. I started to think, oh my gosh, why is this all happening to me? And I need to tell you, that type of thinking held me back. It's the type of thinking that will keep you stuck. When you are asking the why question, why is this happening? Why have they done that? Why have they given me this diagnosis? Why? All I do is delve into the problem. And so I had to really, have a mindset shift, and instead of asking me all the why questions, because the why questions were holding me back, I had to ask, okay, the how questions. All right. How do I get mentally strong? How do I change this diagnosis? What do I need to do? What do I need to action? When do I need to do it? Where do I need to go? Who do I need to see? And I started asking myself different questions to get myself out of my, my destructive thoughts that were draining my mental strength. And I started to focus on the solution and not on the problem. So I ditched the why is this all happening question to how do I create change in my life? How do I get what I want? This is not the result I want. I will need to get a different result. So I started asking myself the different questions. And when you are mentally strong, asking yourself the right questions will start to strengthen your mental ability to get out of a situation that looks like a problem and start to get your eyes on what is the possible solutions. And so how did I become mentally strong? It's a bit like when you work a physical muscle or you want to be physically strong. First of all, you start with weights. And then once you start with weights, there's a point where you need to sort of challenge yourself. You need to increase your weights. You need to focus. You need to challenge your current level so that you can get to the next level. So you would start to eat better. And so there's incremental changes that start to strengthen the muscle. And so it was the same concept with me trying to get mentally strong. I mean, I'd had all these problems, and I had started focusing not on on the problem, but on the solution. And so this is basically how I did it. I started to train my mind with good mental habits, and I started to create good mental patterns. I had to give up all the negative habits and negative thoughts, and I just had to train my brain and had to gain a mindset shift or a swap from getting out of the problem and looking at the solutions, coming out of a victim mindset into a victorious mindset. Stop focusing on the pain, but focus on the power. Stop thinking I was stuck to thinking, okay, how can I grow? And each mindset in that moment, one is a fixed mindset. It's fixed and it says I can't, whereas a growth mindset says I can, and how, when, where, who. All right. And so if I want to stay on the problem, I say why me, poor me, why am I here? Why have they done that? Why didn't that work? And so I really want to, drill home to you today. Like, if you want to get a breakthrough in your life and you want to get mentally strong, you have to do a mindset shift, and you have to take back control of your mind and start to harness the strength that it already has and build on that just as you would if you wanted to build your muscle. So this is what I wanted to share with you now. Okay, here's a question for you, right? If I was eating at 3 a.m. in the morning, was I eating early or was I eating late? Now, your approach to that question and your answer will determine your current mindset, whether you're a prisoner of mental programming or not. All right. And so really, my question to you right now is, what kind of mind do you have? Your mind will either unlock to the solutions, it will either unlock to possibilities, or it will lock you up in the problem and you will be stuck. So I wanted to take this opportunity right now to tell you about this exciting new program called Lit Life Mind Coaching. And what we'll be doing is helping you identify every mental barrier that is holding you back from unlocking every area of your life and to bring increase. We will be covering at least 8 modules. It's super exciting. This will help unlock entrepreneurial mind, your creative mind. And so we're super excited. We're just building it right now. So I want you to stay tuned, watch the journey, and we'll give you details when we're releasing this super powerful Lit Life Mind Coaching program, which is going to unlock your mind. All right. Awesome, guys. That's my podcast for today. If you liked it, loved it, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you do. I would love it, if you guys could do a little referral or make a comment wherever you've heard this. Let me know any feedback or any questions. If you haven't joined my group, you can go to Fearless Women. You can find Fearless Women group on Facebook, and you can join my free group where I drop in some nuggets regularly to help you with your emotional healing and unlocking your mind, and becoming a fearless woman or man if you're listening to this. So anyway, thanks for joining me today. You have an amazing day, and I will catch you next time. Bye.